going after global markets is becoming increasingly important. The reason is that more and more industries are being equally balanced across different markets, and therefore there is not such a national market which is not affected by what's happening in another markets. So whatever happens in America, whatever business happens in America is also affected by what may happen in the same industry in another market. Also, it's important for global firms, in order to be successful in their own domestic markets, to think to expand in overseas markets in order to gain competitiveness, not just in their own market, but across other markets. It's a good strategic decision, so that way it allows you to sort of keep your edge in your own market by learning how to expand outside. So the decision to go international is important, but there's always a timing for doing this. And the question is it the time for doing that? The next is, which market should we go after? Is it the one that we're getting requests? Is it the one that we think would be better adapted? How should we go about entering this market? Should we do it ourselves? Should we do it with other organization, and maybe it's through a partnership? Should we market the product and work on marketing the product from, let's say, the United States in order to sell it in China? Or should we have someone in China that does do that? And so how do we organize our company, and who is in charge? And that's very, very important. So oftentimes, the easiest decision is to work with the countries which are the closest geographically, so the one that have the closest proximity. So if you're in the US, oftentimes the decision is to go in Canada, or it's to go in Mexico, because of the proximity. But there's also the psychosocial proximity, is how similar we are in terms of conducting business and thinking about business, and the cultural distance that there is. Do we speak the same language? Do we have the same type of needs? Are we in the same situation of development of the infrastructures? When you start thinking about going global, one thing that is very important is to try not to go after too many countries at once. Oftentimes, the commitment is big, and the commitment should be on focusing on a few countries versus trying to cover many countries at once. The idea is there are different modes of entry into a foreign market, and these different modes generate different profits. Maybe more profits, but if there's more profits, there's more commitment, there's more risks. If there's more profit, means that you probably have to spend more money, and therefore you will eventually have more control. So do you directly create the structure that will work on the exporting and the importing? Do you create some partnership? Do you sell the rights in this country for someone to take care of it? Or do you directly export and directly import? So we're going to look at indirect exporting. So the idea is that you are finding someone that's in America that's going to be taking care of exporting the product. So this intermediary may be a company that is specialized in buying in the US, so sort of a wholesaler distributor in the US, who specialize in exporting this product in another market. Maybe they have a specific knowledge of another market, and they are specialized in Latin America, and they export in Latin America, and therefore they're looking for domestic companies that can supply them so they can work in their own channel of distribution. Maybe you don't look for a company, but you look for an agent. So the difference is an agent will be someone that is a broker, someone that's working for a commission, and is going to represent you. So it could be simply a salesperson that's going to represent you in America, that's specialized to contact the people outside. You could be working through some agency in the government, for example, that works like a cooperative. So it's an organization where everybody is sort of paying a certain amount of fees and expenses for this company to act on your behalf in order to sell the product or communicate with the product, with the target. And so the idea is this cooperative is someone that you will have to pay almost as an employee, but it's instead of you paying this person as an employee, is you pay a portion of this person salary. And so this person can cover 8 companies, 10 companies. So their salary is X divided by 8, and then you pay this portion. Plus you pay a portion of the other expenses in order to satisfy the cooperative needs. And then you have an export management company, which is someone who is more like a consultant that's going to help you find a way in order to sell this product overseas. Direct exporting is when you decide to take care of the exporting yourself, and you're going to create a department in your company that's going to be in charge of maintaining and organizing these exports. You may have to go further and create a branch in the country where you want to export, where there's going to be headquarters in that country that will be representing you, and they will be your staff 100% dedicated to selling your products. You may have also to, in addition, or simply hire someone that's going to be a salesperson that's 100% your employee and working on selling your product. Or you will be looking for people overseas that will be representing you as your exclusive or representative distributor from some for some time, probably achieving a certain amount of sales within this time in order to keep this right to be your distributor. One thing that is very important is that every country has some kind of association between what the country is known for and some belief of their skills and knowledge about what they be doing. So if you are in Germany, maybe you're very famous for engineering. If you are in Italy, maybe you're very famous for design. If you are from France, maybe you're very famous for taste and also a sense and style and beauty products and makeup and so forth. And if you're from China, maybe you're famous for maybe having lower prices and very good at home decors and elements like this. So the country of origin effect is very important. And so when you decide to export your products, you have to see the mental and the perception that your country has for the type of industry that you're working on. And you can take this as an advantage. But if you sort of goes against the grain, is you have to really therefore balance out the fact that you may be doing something that is not very representative of what your country is known for, and therefore you have to see that this is going to be a little obstacle that you're going to have to work out.